So, guys, this is Vishak here, and today in this episode, I was thinking that maybe I can just do a very different topic. Okay, the shopping. So, I believe that we tend to binge on the food which is more available than not. For example, if you have a packet of chips in your home, the chances are highly likely for you to have it. In the other cases, it's pretty rare for you to go get it and then have it. There's always a difference. So all these things are happening. All these minor mistakes could possibly happen because it all starts from some point. So in this regard, I would just say that our starting point would be the shopping, because we go for the shopping when we buy in terms of snack. We go and buy in, and then we just kind of stock it, refrigerate it, so that we can just be just go on to eat it. Okay, so I've just put things, so as to how, or what are the strategies, how is the best possible way to actually get these things done, so that will be more, uh, you know not just being healthy, but also the kitchen is containing all the healthy items, so that we'll be able to just use the supply in a better way. Okay, so yeah, so what are the list, or what are the possible ways that we can go for it, and all that. Okay, so just put it in the seven different classifications. So first is the shopping list. So everything begins with the shopping list. So what are the types of food that we're going to buy? Obviously, most people will not have an idea as to what they need to buy. What do they want? I mean, of course they would have the basics, but then once they go there, it's pretty hard for them to just have a list, so that like just to go, so that preparation is actually a little difficult. Now most of the people even make mistakes even while preparing the list. That's the first mistake. And the second mistake is when they go there, everything matters. The time matters. Okay, your mental state matters, and there's a lot of other factors which is actually influencing you to go and buy. Okay, so when you go and buy that thing, uh also you would just fall into this temptation and all that. Okay, so you must have seen in some of the supermarkets, or most of the supermarkets, especially when you're going to buy the groceries, the thing is like it's all filled with the AC is like kind of, it's very chilly inside. So even the temptation for you to go for certain types of food will become more if the temperature is kind of cold, because even that is having an influence on your in your mind state, mental state. Okay, that is, everything is being tricked. Okay, because it's all business. Okay, so it's like, with the moment you enter, you kind of feel a little cold. So being cold, or not being cold, I'm sorry, just the cold environment is actually will make you uh, get a little hungry in a while. So even that has a big influence on what you buy and all that. That's on the second stage. But before even we could go to the shopping, the supermarket, what happens is you are making a mistake of how or what is actually required. So it's a basic understanding. We need to understand what is your requirement. Now how we're going to differentiate your requirement is very simple. You got to stick with your need, and then think twice about your want. So we need to, like I said, I mean, it's a differentiation of need and a want. So once you get that clear, now you can just go buy it. Now some people luxuriate on your things, which is okay, which is good. Just people might just say that I deserve it, and I need to, I can eat a lot of food and all that. But there are some two kinds of people, right? So one type of people just go and do whatever they want, like eat whatever they want, buy whatever they want. It's kind of like that. But on the other side, people, first thing is like they are frugal, number one, and number two is that they spend their money more wisely. I mean, this is not a it's not a monetary talk, but then um, it's not just about spending money wisely, but then they would assess everything from a different angle. So it just gives more clarity as to because it is actually having a very different or direct reflection on your body because of what you buy. When it comes to, especially, of course, it's the food that I'm talking about. So it has a direct reflection on your body. So you need to be understanding about what your need is, what your want is, and then going for it. Of course, you can buy the wants, but then you need to be asking certain types of questions, which also I have covered. So this is exactly how we need to be approaching towards the shopping list or the grocery shopping guide or anything like that. Okay, did I just say grocery shopping guide? Just forgive me for mistakes. Okay, it just happens. Anyway, number one is the timing. So everything is based on the timing, and by timing I mean the list, the shopping list timing and the purchase timing. So when exactly you're going to buy. Tell you something. So if you're going to make a list, if you're going to devote about take 15 minutes out of your schedule, and then if you're going to make a list as to what you need for the week, for the month, etc., etc., that's a very wrong approach. I'll tell you why. Because at that point you feel like whatever is required you're just going to put in the paper. Number one. Number two is that sometimes you will not be able to differentiate the need and the want. Okay, whatever is over you can buy it. If somebody else is just next to you, they might just suggest something. Okay, that could be like, okay, I can put it in the list. That's number two mistake. Okay, so in this it's just about one or two mistakes, but it's actually having a very bad big compound effect on the later part, because it's not just about once that we are doing the shopping, we are doing it frequently, right? So what I want you to do is, first thing, when you're preparing the list, I want you to prepare it on a real time basis. So let's say that if certain supply is kind of getting low, go for it. I want you to have, just put a sticker on the refrigerator so that you can just note it down. That'd be a better way. Um, Rather than, just when you wake up in the morning and then you prepare the list. Again, when you're starving, when you prepare the list, this is the most bad way or bad time to make that list, especially when you're hungry, when you're starving, because everything feels like a need. Okay, when you're full, preferably I would say that's even for the purchase timing. I would preferably say that making the list or even the shopping should be done after your meal, preferably after a heavy meal, so that your mind will not be clouded in differentiating the need and the want. Okay, everything seems so straight and clear, so that you will know that, okay, this is what I want, this is what I need, so I just go for the need first. You get it? Now, how to know the need is also very important, because there could be certain things which you don't really which you don't really require, which is not actually um, required in your schedule. Okay, but we still think that it is important. That's just lack of knowledge, unfortunately, because you need to understand your body, and accordingly we need to buy the grocery shopping. Now, do you think that is it so serious? I would most definitely say yes, it is so serious. Okay, I mean, um, just go and I don't know if I can say this, but a patient will be able to say how important the health is rather than a regular man. Okay, so and most of the problems is being caused due to the food that we eat, and that's exactly how the big damage is being done. Well, we tend to still stick on to the same thing what we've been doing, which is good, which is fair enough, but it's just that the technological advancement which has been overpowered our brain. So that's how the temptation is coming in. We kind of give in and all that, and then we just kind of mm, we gave in. So that's not a it's not a good way to do it. Anyway, so that's how you need to do your list, and that's how you need to go shopping as well. So when you're going for the shopping, make sure that you always go after a meal, after a good meal, so that you can go and you won't get tempted. You like when you're hungry, you'll just go for the packet of noodles. You know what I mean? Packet of Maggie, or I shouldn't be saying this, but you see what I'm saying, right? So everything seems like you need it. So just don't do the mistake of doing it before the meal. So that's pretty much with the timing. The next one is the frequency. So how often you're supposed to go for the shopping. Now, this is very basic. When it's over, you got to buy it, but you need to again understand and bisect it, like as to what you need it and when exactly you need it. There are people who do the weekly shopping, the monthly shopping, and the daily shopping. Some people do the daily thing. So me, for example, if you ask me, how would I do it? I mean, this is exceptional. I mean, it's not during the COVID-19. I'm recording this during the COVID-19 lockdown period. So might not be applicable right now, but I'm talking on when I'm being on my regular self. Okay. Just on a regular day when the world is actually functioning. So I'll have this. So daily or alternative days, and the weekly and the monthly. Monthly, I would possibly no probably go for rice, wheat, oatmeal, pasta. I would never go for pasta. I mean, as well, though I like it, but I wouldn't go for it. And things like that, the oil, fats, dry fruits, all of that, I would just put it on the monthly side, so that it just, the supply is actually coming for the monthly. Okay. On the weekly, I would just go for, probably fruits. Okay, that would be on the weekly part. Fruits and preferably vegetables as well. I mean, which can sustain for a week. I would just go for the weekly, but then remaining, I would just, buy it every day. So on an everyday basis, what I would do, or alternative basis, what I do is like, I would buy the dairy. Now, definitely not the sweetened, but then it's just pure dairy. You know what I'm talking about. I'll also be covering that in the coming things, but uh, yeah, I would buy, the meat, dairy, uh, and yeah, sometimes vegetables. I mean, sometimes fruits, but then that will mostly fall into the weekly. So this is possibly how I will plan it. So when you actually plan this, I would try as best as I can to not to put my food in the refrigerator, because it eventually it loses its nutritional content after few hours, like 50 hours or something like that, and after that eventually just tend to decline. So I wouldn't just go for the refrigerating my meat for a week. I wouldn't do that. I mean, though it can preserve it, but that's not the right strategy to do it. So yeah, that's how I take care of, I take care of my groceries, like the frequency of buying it. Okay. Another one is the aisle. Now when you actually step into the shopping, uh, what is it? What's that called as? Supermarket. Okay. So when you actually get into the supermarket, so the moment you step in, everything says something. Now, guys, I want you to be really, really careful about it. Okay. Because the moment you step in, you're stepping into the mouth of the sharks. Okay. I don't want to be sounding on negative, but then that's how the business functions. Okay. Because the moment you step in, I mean, the owner of the supermarket is designed everything to make you buy things. Number one. Number two, the offers that you see over there, every offer is not for your benefit. It's just for you to buy. Okay. Let's say that one product is going to cost you $100. Okay. But if you buy two products, it's just 150. Well, you're thinking that it's just, it's just 150 and I'm buying it. So I have saved $50. No, you didn't save $50, but you just spent 150. Okay. It's all about the way you look at things. Okay. It's all about the way that it's all about the perspective. Okay. So don't fall into these cheesy things. I mean, I wouldn't say that don't go and buy it unless it is like super important. Just go buy it. And I'm not a person who just kind of go ask you to be frugal in every way, but the frugality goes a long way, my friends. I'm telling you, okay. But that's the topic for a different day. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to understand the difference. So like I said, you need to have a mental clarity on what you needed and what you wanted. So when you actually step in, you just don't buy things that you don't really require. Okay. So obviously there's a difference. When you get in, you need to understand what is the fast moving, what is the slow moving, what is not moving, what is new arrival, about to be expired. They will just push it in the first, so that the moment you go in, you kind of buy in. Um, like, so there's always a difference. So you need to understand that, and then you need to probably go for the fast moving. I would say, again, it's falling into the essentials, but never go for the slow moving, because you never know what is the expiry and when was made and all that. So you never know it. Not moving will possibly be more on the decorated part of the aisle. Okay. Which is never moving, so that they kind of like push it, so that comes with a lot of attractive discounts, or very very much decorated aisle. They've been racked it like really nice, so that you kind of fall into that. So that's also like, it's just not a good way to go about it. New arrival, you need to be really seeing it, unless clothes, you don't really have to care about the clothes, but then we're not talking about the clothes. So you need to be very careful. You need to be very vigilant as to how, what exactly that new arrival is going to benefit you in terms of your health. And that's how you need to make a conscious decision. Okay. Well, everything will not technically fall into the to-do, I mean, the shopping list. I know that we all buy more sometimes, unless we don't get the things, unless, how do I put it? Unless the thing that is not available on the particular supermarket, what you really wanted, okay, we don't buy it. But the chances are highly likely for you to buy the things more, definitely more than what exactly is mentioned on the shopping list. How many of you agree with me? Right? So what is exactly happening? You're falling for things. Okay, so that is the things that I want you to just hold back and just see if it is like really important. Like, do you really want it? Now you can try it, but that one try is going to make a big difference, my friends, because the one try is just going to be the first seducing point of that particular corporation for you to buy it. Okay, once you buy it, you got to taste it. Once you taste it, and then obviously you're going to be back again in no time. Because if you like it, it's all about the first point. Once you like it, then you go for it the second time. So there's this line, they say, when you do it once, the chances of doing it twice, it's less likely, right? But when you do it twice, the third time is guaranteed. Think about it. In every aspect of your life, this thing applies. Okay, so think about it. So that's one thing. Okay, so just always be very stuck to just one type of or one single supermarket, like something that's close by. Build a relationship with the guy, so that not build a good business relationship with a professional relationship with the guy, so that he'll also be in a position to tell you the better cost or better thing to buy, anything which is like good, which is, because I had a personal experience. Okay, they will try to push as much as things as they can so that they can just make a quick buck. But if you have that understanding with the owner or whoever that is, it goes a long way. Okay, I'm telling this because of the personal experience that I have with myself. All right, so that's with the aisle in the supermarket. The next one is like questions to ask. Obviously this is not to the supermarket guy, but you need to ask this to yourself. Now, so when you go in and look for things, when you just look at something that you might not want it, let's say uh, let's say a pastry or an ice cream. Okay, now I know that it's been long since you had an ice cream, but you've done enough damages through the, let's say, through the whole week. Okay, you've done certain things that you're not supposed to have. You've eaten the food that you're not supposed to you know consume. So you've already done damage. Now it's the ice cream. Now you're saying that only for the ice cream, I've not had ice cream in years or weeks or whatever, but you've done other damages, which is also going to compound in one way or the other, right? So it's just only once. That is a very cliche saying, and I don't want you to be just going for that one. But instead, when you take a look at that one ice cream, it's going to smile at you like that, like the most beautiful girl on the earth. But at that point, what I want you to do is just ask these questions, like, do you really need that? Okay, just for a minute, just, do you really need it? Like, how long would it take for that particular thing to burn it off? Now obviously you won't be having an idea about how long does it actually take to burn it off. That's cool. But just have an understanding as to how long or what exactly that you need to do to burn it off. What is the effort that is taxing you to burn that particular thing off. Okay, can you hold on to it and not give in? And is there a better alternative? So obviously there's no better alternative for the ice cream. But I'll tell you what, especially when you get to that point of absolute temptation, the best thing that you can do is I'll tell you what I do. So when I'm cutting down, okay, now listen to me very carefully. What I do is, when I'm cutting down, what I do is, uh, I love ice creams, chocolate. So what I do is, I go to the supermarket. Okay, when I'm buying the groceries, I wouldn't just go for this, but when I'm buying the groceries, when I just go to the supermarket and I pick up that ice cream. Okay, I hold it, I look at it, I smell it, like that. Okay, I smell it, and then I smack my lips and I keep it back. That's exactly what I do. And for some reason, possibly this very psychological reason, it just it kind of it doesn't affect me anymore after that. At that one point, it'll be like I will be in it, giving my 100% to that box. But once if I'm off, I just put it back in the refrigerator. I'm like, I'm good. That's it. I just walk away. That's it. Okay, then it's not even tempting anymore. I don't know. Maybe my mind has been programmed in that way, or I programmed it in that way. So that's one way to operate it. Okay, because I know exactly what it takes to burn that off. Take off your body, take off that ice cream from your body. Of course, it's going to come out, but then you know what I'm exactly saying, right? So these are the possible questions that you can ask, so that you can actually reprogram your mind, saying that I'm good. Just say no to that. Okay, that's a very wonderful feeling, or probably a feeling of accomplishment, when you just put that back in the refrigerator and then walk away. You feel like, God damn it, I'm a hero. You know what I mean? Because you've done a favor for yourself. How good that it can get. It's a beautiful feeling, that when you just say no to certain things like that. I don't know, maybe my mind is working all in a very crazy way. So this is how I stay away from the food that is like really tempting me. Okay. So that's pretty much it with the questions that you need to ask with your things. I hope that you guys are taking notes. Okay, but I don't want you to miss on this. All right. The next one is like, what are the things that you not to buy? Okay. The things not to buy will be, anything which has got a big offers, big discounts. Like whatever I have mentioned over here, like not moving, it'll come with the big discounts, big offers. And new arrival, it'll come with the big offers, because it's just an introduction offer and all of that. So don't go for that. Okay. I'll tell you what, no supermarket in the world is actually pushing to sell tomatoes. Now, how many of you agree with me? Yeah. Nobody will push meat. Nobody will push eggs. Okay. Nobody will push broccoli. Okay. But they will most definitely push cookies. Okay. Now there's a difference, my friends. That's something that I want you to understand. Okay. The essentials are like that. Okay. Nobody's saying that if you buy a kg of rice, you get 10 kgs of rice for 50% off. Nobody says that, because all these are like a natural produce. Okay. But, well, maybe you can have that. Maybe some of the companies which are actually labeling that can have it sometimes, but it's on the very, very rare cases, but not on most cases. If you just take a look at, because I've never seen a vegetable having a discount offer like 50% off. You know what I mean? It's just the price. What it is. Maybe they'll have a bit of discount, or probably very minimal, discount when it comes to vegetables, because as again, the branding of the supermarket in itself, and not specifically towards the vegetables or grains or anything like that. So there's a difference. Again, I want you to be very thoughtful when it comes to that. When you're looking at it, don't just go and just say, okay, this is like these guys are pushing me. No, don't come into that conclusion. Again, what is like, what is really important for you, and what is really important, like the need will never be coming with a discount or offer, or anything like that. But the other things are like, obviously it's just push, right? So for you to buy it, they will do everything that's possible and all that. So never go for the big offers. Soft drinks, candies, it goes without saying. Sweet and dairy, people just say that, okay, this is milk, but it's just that it's just sugary milk, or better taste of flavored milk and all that. It's pure crap. It's pure garbage. Let me give you that. Okay. The damage that is doing to your body, it's like insane. Okay. Because I feel that you will never be able to recover from that. Of course you will, but then that's a kind of a programming that I have. Like, if I just see certain things, I just look at it with a very disgust, because if I give that kind of a look to that, it just makes me feel good, because I wouldn't just go for it. It's not tempting, because sugar never tempts me. Like any of these fancy cookies never tempts me. Okay. Because was I like this always? No, that's not the question, but that's not the point. But now, at least for the past few years, I've never been like, hey, Vishak is sugar free, man. Okay. I'm just saying, like, and he's fat free too. So he's good. Just saying. Okay. I'm not marketing over here, but I'm just saying, what I want you to do is make that programming in your mind, so that it's good for you. That's it. Make those conscious choices. Very simple. Very simple. And you just cry saying that I'm not losing weight, because you're making poor choices in your daily things. Okay, it's not just about the food. Again, the whole lifestyle we need to make a revisit, and that's why I'm pushing, because I'm telling you guys, I'm desperate. Okay, I can't stress this enough. I'm super desperate about people need to understand as to how bad the lifestyle is. It's all wrecking their health. So every day small pleasure, like 5 minutes, 30 seconds of pleasure, they're wrecking their health on a big time, because it's going to compound, my friends. It's not going to go away like that. It's going to stand in front of you like a monster, right? One day. That's what I'm saying. I'm just pushing it so much because I'm desperate in people to understand we are wrecking our health. This is not a good lifestyle to have it. Okay, so just stay away from all these things. Just eat for your intestine. I don't know if I would have mentioned it, but eat for your intestine. Don't eat for the nose and the tongue and the eyes and all that. That's what most people fall in for, but don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. And again, what to buy? Anything that is not advertised. Now, anything that is advertised, what not to buy. So don't buy anything that is like advertisement. If there's something like pushy, again, don't go for that. Okay. So that's pretty much it with what not to buy. Okay. The next one is very important one, what to buy, what exactly that should be in your grocery. Now this will actually go into the frequency. Okay, but you need to, again, it based on your convenience, you can do it. Okay, weekly, monthly, whatever, but your convenience, because you know your schedule better. So just take a look at it and then say, okay, I'll do this certain things weekly. But then if things are like programmed, if you have a schedule for yourself, like how your week is going to look like and how your month is going to look like, I mean, that's a great way of looking at things, because you know your schedule and you know how to do the planning according to that. Okay, most people fail because there's no planning. So planning to fail is failing to plan, right? I mean, failing to plan is planning to fail. So you get the idea, right? Anyway, so getting into the what to buy, uh I've numbered it because these are like essentials. Okay. Number one is meat and fish. I mean, if you're a vegan, which is good, you have definitely a lot of other options like beans, lentils, um, you know, a lot of other options. Okay, beans and lentils are the predominant things I would say, but so this is an alternative for meat and fish. I'm putting this because just very basic protein. That's it. Okay, beans and lentils. All right, cool. So if you're a vegan, go for this, but make sure this is mandatory, because you need to kind of have it like almost every day, because protein is like functional, make your body function. Okay, so yeah, I mean, not in terms of the physical activity, that doesn't require protein. Okay, protein is more of like the building blocks, but then it's much more like carbohydrates. I mean, I'll be getting onto the macros and all that in a different video. That's for different. But yeah, so grains and bread. Why grains and bread? These are the ones which is actually going to give you energy. So for you to be able to function throughout the day, this is exactly what is going to give you the energy. But there's a very a small difference. If you are a person who is like constantly on meat, like constantly on protein, okay, then the energy can be taken from the fat from the meat. That's a whole different ball game altogether. But most of us, or most of you who watch this, are on the regular lifestyle. So that regular lifestyle contains a lot of carbohydrates, which is like grains and bread. So if you just take it off, that's not a good thing. Your brain will not thank you for a week or something. It's gonna fight. Okay, there's a lot of psychological effects that's going to happen. Okay, because like the tremendous amount of chemical reactions is going to happen when your brain, when you cut off certain things, when you introduce certain things, everything is going to be like a reaction, right? Because like every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This is applicable even in your body. So I don't want you to cut it off. But yeah, so rice, flour, whole grain, and oatmeal. So I would say first and foremost comes the oatmeal, right? Next would be, next would be whole wheat. And yeah, this is probably a better order, because try your oatmeal at the first meal of the day with some protein. second meal could be, preferably whole grain. I'm just giving you out that. Okay, this is powerful, guys. uh the third meal could be a little bit again if you want this. If not, just go for the protein. And then fourth, if you just want to take it, if you take it. If not, just cut it off. That's cool. Okay, but never have this one, and never have these for your dinner. Don't have it. It's not good. Okay. Even if you want to have it, if you're like kind of like really into it, maybe finish off your dinner at 5 p.m. if you're a person who goes to bed by 10 p.m. So give that 5 hour window, so that you know it kind of like you've got enough thing to just burn it, and then you get the idea. Okay, so those are the grains and bread. Next one is the oil and fat. So this is like pretty much the basic, the cooking oil. Again, in cooking oil, guys, I don't want you to just go for the vegetable oil. That's not a good thing to do, because that is like it's not good. I don't know what are the side effects of it, but it comes with a lot of bad fat. Okay, very bad cholesterol. I think it is like HDL. I'm just doing a little bit of research on that one, like what is the best cooking oil and all that. But I want you to just keep it with the basic. I would say maybe a little bit of coconut oil, okay, for cooking, or olive oil, which is for seasoning. Um, Flaxseed oil, okay, flaxseed oil. Uh, Peanut oil. I'm not sure if that's the exact name, but then peanut oil, I think it's got a lot of calories in it, but I want you to be really watchful as to, when you're going for the peanut oil. I believe that it's kind of like, I don't use the peanut oil, but then I feel that it's more like really delicious when it comes to the food. The way when you cook it, if you're going to use the peanut oil, it's like super delicious. So we tend to go for more. So we tend to go for adding a lot more peanut oil when you're cooking, and then eating a lot more, food when you're consuming. So it's just like kind of reverse. So just watch out on that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Butter, again, I want you to keep it like a really minimum, but I want you to oil, and yeah, I want you to just the way you're consuming your fat, you need to be watchful, but then I don't want you to be cutting it off. What you really need to be watchful of is the grains and bread, and not of the oil and fat. Okay, but if you're going to combine all this, and that's where the real danger is. Either you can have this and this, or you can have this and this, but this is mandatory anyways. It goes without saying. Well, preferably this and this. Okay, but I would say, have a mix, have a balance. So all three is going to make a big impact. At least if you're being consistent for about a week, 3 weeks, 3 months, it's going to make possible differences, like evident results. Okay, so yeah, nuts, again, it's almonds, cashew, uh, walnuts. Cashew, never go for peanuts. Peanuts are like kind of crazy. Peanut butter, you can have it. Again, what are you going to have that with? How are you having it? When are you having it? All this matters a lot. Okay, so again, you can go for the almonds, but make sure you keep it with a limit of 15 to 20 grams a day, so that it gives a good amount of fat in your body, just gets in. And then obviously, it's a little bit of manipulation that you put in good fat, and then you take out the bad fat. So make a balance on that. That's with the oil and fat. Okay, how many of you are finding it useful? Right, type useful in the comment box. And the next thing, what I want you to focus on, the dairy and eggs. That, like, guys, anyway, whatever I'm just saying what to buy, these are like essentials. You're buying it anyways. But I want you to make those minor changes. Just pick up the words, pick up those points from my lines. Those pay attention to the details, because the God is in the details, not just what I'm saying, but the whole thing. Pay attention to the details. That's where the gold is. Okay. So egg and dairy, yogurt, cheese, milk. Again, don't go for the sweetened milk. Don't go for the flavored yogurt. It's pure garbage. It's wrecking your health big time. Okay, your sugar levels will shoot up like crazy when you go for the sweetened milk or the flavored yogurt or whatever. Cheese, keep it to the bare minimum. But if you're a person who is actually looking forward for it, putting on healthy weight, this could be like a great option, like cheese mixed with a bit of grains of bread pre-workout. It's a great meal for you to have it. Like you can really push yourself, so it just gives good amount of thing. But then again, don't go for the cheese and like bread, cheese or whatever, and then just go to bed. That's like very bad. Okay, so that's pretty much it with dairy and eggs. Okay, the next one is the condiments. Again, apple cider. So these are like the uh, don't go for more. Okay, cinnamon you can definitely have. You can even just powder that up, and then cinnamon powder you can add it with your oatmeal, or it just in water. It just gives you like good flavor, helps you burn with a lot of fat. Again, if you just if you have a not concoction as like don't mix it up, but then on everyday basis, if you're just going to even have like a cup of green tea and then cinnamon water or cinnamon oatmeal or anything, it's going to help you great with your being fit or being shape or anything. Okay, herbs, spices, just keep it at the bare minimum. Never go for the sugar. It's just pure garbage. Pepper, I don't know if pepper comes in the spice, but if that's what it is, that's what it is. Okay, so that's with the condiments. But make sure that your apple cider, you need to uh, dilute that and then have it with water. Okay, you need dilute with water and then you can have it maybe in the morning. Or some people have a different ritual. I mean, I don't necessarily profess anything about it, but it is a good option to have it, like preferably in the morning and every day. Okay, so that's with the condiments. The next one is the fruits and nuts. I think we've pretty much covered with this, but fruits, as seeds you can go for the monthly. Nuts, again, we've covered this. But fruits, I would suggest you to have it at least uh, one fruit at least one alternative day. Most of us neglect it. Never have a fruit day, because it's going to uh, you know shoot up your sugar on a different, it's going to be through the roof. So don't never have a fruit day like some people have, like I'm going to eat only fruits for the whole day. That's a very, very bad strategy. Unless if they have that as a kind of a lifestyle, they have only the fruits throughout their life, which is okay. The body's already adapted and improvised in certain ways so that they'll be able to function. But that's not the way to go for it. When you're having it like on a different day, and then on a Thursday I want to have only the fruits. That's a very bad way of approaching your lifestyle, being healthy. So don't go for the fruits on a whole day, but try adding it at least like in between a meal, or probably as a snack. That's a great way of helping you, because it makes you feel full. Again, it gives you good sugars, but then don't go overboard on it. It's not the right way to go for it. Okay, next one is the beans and lentils. We've covered it because the protein. So yeah, uh, I I think that's pretty much it. So how many of you finding value in it? Okay, type value in the comment box. Okay, now guys, why am I stressing on this? Because all these things are like, these minor habits, these minor changes are like super important, and you have to make those conscious choices deliberately to to make that difference in your body. So your future body will thank you for what you're doing today. Okay, um, so I mean it's just that, I mean, I was living with a couple of people, and I used to be on the healthy side, and then they used to look at me like crazy. I used to get some crazy looks. Okay, probably I was crazy back then. So all I'm thinking is like, right now they are thinking that they wish they did something about it, you know because your body is all you have, guys, if you know what I mean. You're all you have. That's number one. Number two is like, if you don't have the body to live, and then where exactly you're going to live? Can't. It's pretty bad. So I would say, take care of it. Don't take it for granted, and kill it. Stay hard. Okay. I hope you found value in it, and I will see you in the next episode. Okay. So with that being said, ciao. Bye bye.